welcome to our live trading live stream today. Today we will be demonstrating the Unity Excel trading model. We're going to be taking some trades. We're going to be looking at the euro. We're going to be focused on the euro US dollar, taking trades on the 1 minute time frame. All the trades are going to be taken through our Excel model, which also does the analysis, and we're going to be demonstrating a new variation of our mean reversion strategy. Here to discuss it and talk us through the next 30 minutes with me is Ren Vallo. How are you today, Ren?
Hey, good morning, Mark. I'm doing well. It's a good Tuesday morning, and yep, we're looking for a bounce.
Well, we had a bounce. We actually had a Friday bounce,
Yeah,
didn't we? In stocks, we had a
yeah,
small
we did.
update on Friday, if memory serves, and then we had a stronger day yesterday. But pretty bullish looking candle yesterday, and then stocks are going to be opening. We're going to have a lot more liquidity in the market in the next 10 minutes. So let's see what happens.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we are demonstrating the Unity Excel trading model. If you're watching this on live or catch up, you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We've been working on a mean reversion strategy that we've been demonstrating over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But today we have added in another classic technical indicator. You can put all of these technical indicators into your model. Bollinger Bands. We talked about it
Yep,
last week, didn't we, Ren?
we did. And Mark, you put in a lot of extra effort and got it done for us this week, and actually got it done for us late last week, so I was able to run it live since Friday morning. So, yep, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was testing on the 12-minute time frame. I've come to quite like this 12-minute time frame. It's a bit of an odd one. You don't see it on that many charts, but it's one of the standard ones on MT5, which is the platform that we use to get prices through and to enter our trades. The MT5 platform has to be open and used in conjunction with our model, but we're not using it directly because all the trade signals are sent directly from Excel via to your broker's server, your MT5 broker's server, using an API.
Yep.
So I'm looking at this 12-minute time frame. The reason I like it for backtesting is it's adjacent to the 10-minute and the 15-minute. So if I come up with my latest brilliant idea for what's going to work, I can get a reality check pretty quickly. With Unity, we can refresh the data in seconds, can't we? So I can do say a 10,000 row back test on the 12-minute time frame, looking at probably a few months worth of data there, and then I can test exactly the same settings. And I'd expect it to be pretty similar on the 10-minute, maybe not quite as good, but still robust. Good test for robustness. And the same with the 15. Again, there might be a very slight variation in the optimal settings, but it should be broadly similar. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. I don't know, have you tried this 12-minute, Ren?
Well, yes. I mean, I tried it last weekend or last week. I did some back testing over the weekend, and I like it too. I mean, what I found was it's once you get it dialed in on the 12-minute, it even translates to the 5 minute. Like I felt like it was very similar win rate. The trades are a little bit smaller, obviously, on the 5 minute, but my win rates were very similar. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful way to get started. So 12
Yeah.
minutes a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one thing in particular I've noticed going to these smaller intraday time frames. So following an algorithmic trading strategy here. We're buying, looking for a mean reversion when the price goes outside the bands. In fact, when it closes outside the bands, looking for a bounce back higher or lower, depending on which side of the bands it goes to. So it's a nice, simple strategy. We've got a few other tweaks to it. But one of the things that I've found, in fact, I've heard it for years now, is that Bollinger Bands, they're a pretty good representation of prices, say on the daily time frame, in terms of the standard deviation, the 20 days, it's not too bad. But once you get into the intraday time frames, if you want to keep that two standard deviations, effectively the same percentage of price within the bands, you have to increase the size of the bands.
Yep.
So that's what I've been doing basically. On the 5 minute, the bands will be slightly wider. say 2.5 times the standard deviation,
Sure.
compared to say the 12 minute, which might be say 2.2 times.
Yeah, yeah,
Any thoughts?
and Mark, I agree with that. I totally agree. But for this last experiment, I just left the settings that I liked on the
Mm,
12 minute,
yeah.
and just hey, I'm going to try to trade this on the 5 minute and see how it does in real life. And very consistent. This is a very similar strategy to the channels, the price channels, but I found this one to be a little bit more consistent across different time frames.
Mm,
So maybe the Bollinger Band adapting with the volatility of the moment, like the different time frames of the day, actually might help eliminate some of the volatility I was having in my trading strategy. So
mm.
yeah,
You know what you said actually, I think at least I remember we were talking about last week was combining Bollinger's with the
yep,
price channels, the Donchian bands. So we
yeah,
haven't done that. We've just stuck to the Bollingers. I must admit, I like to keep it simple if possible, but that could be
yes,
another thing that we try in the future. Bollingers are measuring the standard deviation of the closing price over the past 20 bars. Price
hmm,
channels clearly are measuring highs and lows, so difficult to know which of those is going to have the biggest impact in terms of a reversion back to the mean. But anyway, it's going to be one or the other.
yeah. Well, yeah. I just want to say I'm really happy with this one so far. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a couple weeks of actual trading under my belt with it. But all of my back tests have come out consistently similar. Yeah, so I'm very excited. It's not really as with most strategies for real live trading at the 1 minute. Even though my win rates are very similar, there's just not enough meat on those trades to make it worthwhile with the slippage and commissions. You
Mm,
really can't. You really just spinning your wheels.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, but when you start going up to the 12 minute, you're definitely getting trades that are like when you're profiting on your trades, they're large enough to profit from.
that's right. Yeah, you've got to overcome even the euro US dollar, tiny spreads, very, very liquid. You've got to overcome that cost of trading, the bid ask
Yep.
spread at the very, very minimum
Yep.
to be profitable. So, yeah, that's what we're finding, really, isn't it? You went up to the 30 minutes, but I don't know if it suits you. It's a bit slow to evolve.
It, it is. It just takes so much time, and
Mm,
you're waiting. The trades are much larger, which is nice. So you're when you do have a winning trade, it's a good winning trade.
mm,
But at the same time, I'm not that patient.
no, it's nice
So
to be
like after a week, yeah.
yeah. It's nice to be sat in a winning trade that keeps moving in the direction of your trade, but it's not so good to be on the other side, especially if it's taking a week to eke out a small loss or whatever
Yeah.
happens.
Yes, I mean, actually, I mean, in real, like, if you're going to trade this for a living, I would say pop. Yeah, I probably would want to focus on the larger time frames of 30 minutes
Yeah,
because of the larger trade size. As long
yeah,
as your strategy is robust enough to maintain that upper 60s, lower 70s% win, you're going to do really well. It just takes a long time. It's kind of
yeah.
like long-term investing.
Yeah, oh, it's closer to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit more about what you can do with Unity. This is once again, it's about if you're watching this on live or catch up, if you're here live, say hi in the chat, ask us any questions, put any comments to us. We'll be happy to respond to those. What can we do with Unity? We've talked about single trading strategy here, so refining, optimizing, developing, backtesting this trading strategy, and then when you're ready, doing what we're doing today, which is trading it live. We're hoping to get some trades. What do you think is the optimal use of Unity, Ren, and how can people who are interested in mechanical trading but are not programmers, for example, can use this tool?
Well, taking the spreadsheet that in Unity and then adapting it for your own personal use is the key here. So if you've
Mm,
got an indicator that you like for instance, we were talking about Bollinger Bands
yeah,
last weekend, you were able to add Bollinger Bands in quite simply into the spreadsheet and then start trading it. Do the back testing. Do
yeah,
this. Study the strategy. See if it really works. And then if it works, the beauty of this is you can just turn it on and start trading it with MT5. So it's really easy to adapt your strategies, add indicators. We could add, anything you want to add ADX. We could just throw it
mm,
in there, and it wouldn't take very much effort. And all these basic indicators are available. You've got like the indicators. They're easy to code. You can read about them online. So it's really just a great way to adapt your trading strategies, do the back testing, and then implement it in a live trading strategy and see how it performs. Obviously, I would start with small trade size, one contract or one share, just to see how it really performs in real life. But yeah, it's a real quick way to get up and be trading algorithmically.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. It's for normal people. People who are
Mm-hmm.
used to using Excel, people who are used to doing a bit of analysis in Excel. It's for normal people who can do very, very, very simple things, copying and pasting. If you want to program the strategy, then there are some simple rules that you're going to have to use. But really, we are talking Excel. We're not talking any programming language, programming languages, and a lot of the tools you need, like profit targets, different types of exits, are all built into the spreadsheets.
Yeah, you even have your drawdown is built into the spreadsheet. So basically, you're just cutting and pasting the extra indicators that you want to put in. And if you have a custom indicator that you've developed, you can cut and paste that into there just by adding a column into the spreadsheet. So for non-programmers, I think it's a great solution, and actually for programmers too, because Excel is not a black box. You can look at it, compare the columns and rows, see how the calculations are being done without being a programmer. So anybody
Exactly.
can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. It's set up for the normal person, the normal trader who wants to use Excel to do their analysis, their strategy development. Recognize that sound? The bell has sounded. So by tradition, we do this live trading demonstration at the Tuesday open of the stocks in New York, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we get to see a lot of liquidity. Often we see a bounce as well, but I think,
Yep.
like you mentioned last week, it depends on what's preceded it, whether or not we're going to get our Tuesday turnaround. It's good
I
if we've had a
know.
bit of a sell-off, but we had a strong Monday preceding. So let's see whether or not we get
Yes.
a bounce today.
Sometimes when you get the strong Monday, it doesn't work out because that kind of oversets it. But like when we have those really bad Mondays, Tuesday's usually our turnaround day.
Mm.
So we'll see how today works out. We had a lot of news today too.
Yeah,
So
that CPI print is going to be processed and digested. Looking at the MT5 terminal there, which you can see the top left-hand corner of the screen, is I'll zoom into this. So this is the MT5. If you're not familiar with it, it is a platform. It's been around for a long time. It's very robust. It's nice and simple and lightweight as well. There's huge number of different types of indicators you can get for it. You can program your own. You can get people to program your own. So it has got a big community associated with it. The real reason that we're using it though is because it's got a very modern and easy to use API, which Ren you've talked about many times on our live streams. The simple version is it just works well, doesn't it? It is quick,
yes.
it is easy for us to do what we need, whereas a lot of the big players, a lot of the big brokers, their systems are quite frankly just not as good.
Right. No, it's very, and like you said, it's lightweight, which is really, really nice. So some of my other favorite platforms that are out there, like TD Ameritrade is a pretty heavyweight application. You need a pretty good computer to run it. MT5 has basically all the same bells and whistles and is very lightweight.
Yeah.
It barely takes any processing.
Yeah, it's super simple, doesn't take any processing, and that makes it easier so that if you want to use the Unity system, which is set up and ready to go, if you want to learn more, there is a link below the video. So if you're watching us on YouTube, there is anyway, and you can go on there and find out more about it and how you can get started trading your strategies algorithmically, or use one of the simple strategies that we've already got, and you can
Yep.
test on the markets, the instruments you like to trade, on the time frames you like to trade, and then do exactly what we're doing today. In fact, it's so easy to get a demo account on MT5. You could be testing and trading today very, very quickly.
Absolutely, it's really quick to get set up and go. I mean, from nothing to fully algorithmic trading using MT5 and Excel probably takes less than 5 minutes. It's really just downloading, installing MT5, and then taking your spreadsheet and connecting it with the Unity, and boom, you're good.
Mm, yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, we would say that, but it is. It's very simple. It's very simple to use. What we've got is the interface. It's the Excel spreadsheet, the structure, and the interface to connect you up to MT5 very, very quickly, so you can do all this yourself. So I'll have a quick look. Let's zoom in quickly on the Excel model. This is the Unity Excel model here, and you can see here you can do things like adjust the profit target, like I'm doing here, and you can see the results adjust
Yep.
in real time. You
Yep.
see the big bounce here. You can see my cursor. That is the volatility that we got with the CPI print, which came out about. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, it came out about an hour ago. So that was a bit of a bounce. Trading on the 1 minute time frame here, and you can see as I adjust the profit target, everything over here adjusts at the same time, including our results, including our average trade size. The reason we use the 1 minute time frame in our live streams is so that you can see some trades. Hopefully we will get some trades triggering today. We're looking for a trade outside the Bollinger Bands, and the Bollinger Bands are very wide, hasn't quite absorbed all that volatility. So we might,
Yeah.
hopefully, when the bands contract a little bit, we might get a trade then.
Yeah, we're seeing that, Mark, because of the news announcement created some extra volatility for us. But one of the great things about this strategy, and also with the channels, is you can notice that right now we're not in a trade, and the market's extremely volatile. So if you're looking at the underlying market, it took a pretty big hit here, and our trading strategy did not take that hit, which I think is the key to this. You know, if you're going to be day trading, you don't want to be in the market when increased volatility is happening. So.
Yeah, this is one day. There's different days are going to suit different things, but this is one day when Bollingers and volatility are clearly in play. So Bollingers is probably the best way to do it, whereas maybe on quieter days, price channels might be better suited,
Yeah.
because the price levels are not as relevant when we've got big CPI data, when we've got the Fed talking, because we can blast through multiple levels very, very quickly.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's kind of, and that's what we were kind of curious about last week when we talked about doing the Bollinger Bands, how it might work with volatility. And today is a great example of how it might work.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
yep.
So it's working so well. We're not actually getting any trades at the moment. I've set the bands to 2.5, and I'm just going to update the bottom. Let's zoom in again to MT5. What that will look like is this. You can see here. Actually looks like we're very, very close. Let me highlight it, but we're still slightly outside it. You see, with the bands as wide as this, we're not actually getting any trades, but that might be a good thing considering the amount of volatility. Once the volatility has been absorbed, the price shock, the news has been absorbed by the markets, it might be a different story, and we might get some nice mean reversion trades.
Yeah,
One
I
thing
think
I
so.
actually included in this strategy, one of the few things, actually, I did try quite a few different things. One of the things I did include in this strategy is a minimum width filter. Now, it's not going to help us on high volatility days here, but what this means is that when this is active, you will set a minimum width of the band so that if they're very, very, in absolute terms, in terms of number of points or pips, depending on the instrument you're trading, so you can set this. Well, I'm going to just say 3 pips here, or 5 pips. You can see here
Nice.
it's changing the strategy in this time frame in these conditions. That's not a useful filter, so I've switched it off for now. However, on the longer time frames, when we were testing a lot more data, found these maybe very, very quiet times were not as useful signals for a mean reversion.
Yeah, that's really cool, Mark. That's a neat little added filter for us. I mean, I think that works really well too. You can see it, when you're adjusting it. It's pretty cool stuff.
So Anybody watching this live, the Unity Excel trading model, if you want to learn more about it and get started yourself doing algorithmic trading in Excel, there is a link below the video on YouTube, so you can click on that to find out more. And if you're watching live and have any questions for us, or just want to email us your questions if you want something specific for you, drop us an email and let us know what it is you want. We'll be happy to respond to that.
Mark, something that comes up with subscribers that they'll have a strategy idea and they'll want us to put it into the Excel sheets, and they'll have a list of things like maximum drawdowns and all these things that'll be like listed out for us. These things are already built into this spreadsheet. So if you're thinking about like, hey, I need to have all these, there's things we don't talk about a lot when we're doing these live streams, but there's a lot of stuff in here to help you analyze your back tests, like the maximum drawdown of the underlying market versus the maximum drawdown of your strategy. Those kinds of things are already built into this strategy. And I think maybe it's not as obvious to some people because we get a lot of requests to add these things into the strategy, and it's already in there. So a lot of these things that you can see on the right-hand panel basically help you analyze how well you've done on your back tests. And then as you're trading in real life, you can actually analyze and compare it to your back tests.
Yeah. And that leads on to another point, actually, in that once the model is actually trading, it's taking trades, it has an automatic feature that it will compare the entry price as shown by the model and as actually achieved as well. So you can look at what sort of slippage you're getting compared to what you should be getting. There's all sorts of different ways that you can look into this once you get in there. And as you say, it's all built in. As soon as you get started, you can really make sure that you're getting the results that your backtests show.
Right. Yeah. When you start with, like, for instance, this Bollinger Bands sheet, you can trade this live right off the bat. I mean, it's got everything in there you need from starting to finish. And of course, the idea is that you want to build your strategies on this, or whatever your idea is to add to your strategies and adjust it how you want to do it to personalize it. But essentially, out of the box, this thing is a one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not just currencies. We do tend to, we often do currencies.
Yeah.
Last week we did Bitcoin, I think it was, wasn't it? We did crypto, we did Bitcoin. Many times we've looked at the NASDAQ. We did gold not very long ago, a few weeks ago. We did silver sometime before that. There is so many different markets available in MT5. And plus there's a huge range of brokers in just about every jurisdiction. Choose one that's registered in the country or the administration system that you actually live in. So it might just make sense to do that. But you will find a huge range of different brokers offering MT5. The prices will come from different areas. Ren, you know that in the US it's usually a slightly different system, but it still works equally well with the Unity model.
It does. Yeah, it's all really broker dependent. And the one nice thing about MT5 is it's broker independent. So if you have a broker that offers these currency pairs and you can connect it with MT5, then you're good to go. So it's in that way, it's very flexible. A lot of firms in the US prefer the futures market, so you can trade the currencies using the futures versus the pair. And there's not a whole lot of difference, really. There's a commission, though, whereas you can trade these currency pairs commission free with a lot of brokers around the world. Here in the US, there's very few that offer that, and you basically pay a commission with the futures. But when you look at it compared to the slippage and everything, it comes out about the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is just the custom and the norm, really, isn't it? This is where most brokers will steer you towards trading futures rather than spot prices. Whereas over here in the UK, for example, it's quite often, usually the other way, that you will be offered spot forex and CFDs as well. So it just depends what is the norm where you're based.
Yep. And that's the great thing about using MT5. You can use the broker that fits your needs in your territory.
Exactly. Right, we're going to end this live stream soon. Unfortunately, we haven't had any trades. I think we've been slightly defeated by the width of the bands here. We haven't got any trades to show you. I'm going to Zoom into the bands again, you'll see why we haven't had any today. It was just this huge width as they got enormous with these couple of minutes after the CPI print came out. That volatility has continued. We've had a lurch downwards, lurch back up, but none of them have yet allowed us to enter a trade with the conditions we set before the start of the live stream, which of course is the point. We have to set our conditions at the start. We don't want to be messing around and changing things as we go. That's the whole benefit of algorithmic trading, is using the rules. Excel, we set the rules, but then Excel will follow exactly through with it.
Exactly, Mark. And I feel that too. Like I know I want to be trading, but the rules don't allow for it. So, and that's a good thing. It keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Whether you, people have got different things. They may have day jobs. You may have, goodness knows what sort of commitments going on throughout the day. Just about everybody has. This allows you to set your strategy, and it will implement it remotely, and whether you're there or not. But you're the person that decides. The user, you're the person that decides when you want it on, what strategy you want, what instrument to trade it on. But after that, it will do everything for you.
Exactly. It's like having a trading assistant ready to trade all the time, 24/7.
I like that. Yeah, exactly. It's having an assistant. Yeah, exactly. So it's having an assistant that is ready and waiting to implement the strategy exactly as you have designed and programmed it.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Trading assistant. So we're going to end the live stream today. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat box. But apart from that, Ren, shame we didn't get any trades. We've got a nice back move to the a mean reversion, if I can call it exactly that. I'll zoom in one more time to what the Euro USD is doing here. We've had this bounce back into the middle here, but none of them, not one of these bars has triggered a trade. I'm going to show you earlier, this was that big trade that we got here. In fact, here we traded outside the band, huge bounce back. So we had a classic mean reversion here, hit the profit target, and it would appear that we've had nothing since then. That was at 1:31, I would say. Time here, that'll be at 8:31 a.m. Eastern time.
And I did see the running on the 5-minute time frame for myself in live. I did actually get that trade.
You got it as well. Good. Yeah.
Yes, I did get it.
I mean, it depends on your point of view. There's no need to trade through volatility. You can just switch it off. But there you go. Yeah. It's performed well.
Yep.
Okay, let's finish our live stream for today. We'll be back again very soon. If you want more information, link below this video on YouTube. Please get in touch with us if you need any customization, or you have some ideas that you would like us to help us with. Please get in touch with us. And apart from that, look forward to having another live stream soon. Thank you very much, Ren, for being with us here today.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. It's been a good session.
Yeah. Okay. Let's end now, and I look forward to